Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, everybody, and my name is Crypto King, a.k.a. Iceman, a.k.a. Steve Green, a.k.a. Ace.
Wow, you have a lot of nicknames.
They were given to me.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, you don't
I only got the nick... No, I do. Like, people used to call me Chipmunk in high school because my cheeks were really big.
I thought you said they called you Shitmonk. I was like, that's so funny. I was
Like I'm
good for you improvising that.
Like I'm being a monk and I'm
They
really
called me
shit
Shitmonk
at
because
it.
I'm really bad at it because I couldn't relax. And it's like, oh, wow. All
I
right.
couldn't shave my head right.
What a riddle real Shitmonk.
I couldn't keep my vow of silence. It's too talkative. Well, anyway, I wanted...
I think Shitmonk has been born, I think.
They call me Shitmonk.
That's what they'll call you now.
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh.
It's much more fitting because my cheeks did disappear.
Dude, imagine people writing in and they're like, hey, Iceman, hey, Shitmonk.
Oh, God. Okay, I can't wait.
You started something.
That's very exciting. Today's topic for Shit They Don't Tell You is something that I'm currently going through now, but we'll save it till the end because I want to take you through a timeline of how this is not new for me to have weird ass health shit happen. And this is just some shit that they don't tell you. They do not tell you about these things. I had no idea that any one of these things existed.
Yes.
And I think it has contributed to my quote unquote hypochondria. I don't know if I'm a hypochondriac anymore.
Yes, you are.
But every time I'm right. But every time I'm right.
You're not right when you say you ate glass and you're going to die.
No,
You're not right when you injure your finger and you're like, I'm going to lose my whole hand.
I didn't go to the hospital for those things. I just was concerned.
You were not just concerned.
I did some research and then I was like, I don't think it's worth the hospital bill because we live in America and we don't have healthcare for all. So I decided against it. Yeah. Right. God bless America. So what I want to do. Okay. So this topic came up because of weird after effects I've been having after COVID. And it reminded me of all the weird shit that I've gotten in my life that I had no idea existed. I want to talk about my personal experiences with them. But I want to, as a litmus test, take you through them as I went through them. And please. I want to know how you would have reacted if I'm such a hypochondriac. I want to know what you, a normal person, although I think you're on the other end of the extreme because you won't go
on the dumb end.
You won't go to the hospital even when you are in a lot of pain.
Because I'm a military kid, man.
Okay.
We were taught not to show any kind of pain.
So then you end up getting something worse.
Yeah, I know.
Because it evolves. You got to stop it early.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also just really quick as a backstory, my history of how the fuck did you even get that stems from childhood. I got mononucleosis at age 8, which is commonly referred to as the kissing disease. Have you heard of it?
No, they should call it the boring disease.
It's called the kissing. No, mononucleosis. It sounds like you're
very
mono. Okay, but mononucleosis is the the full term for. Okay, anyway, they call it the kissing disease because it's transmitted orally. And at this time, I was a complete germaphobe. Like, would not share food, drinks, chapstick. Anything that touched another human's mouth I thought was disgusting, like just so disturbing. I would never, ever.
Oh, you know what's funny about that real quick?
What?
You remember when I told you I would not share burritos?
Yes.
It was bullshit.
What?
Yeah, no.
Why did you say that?
I was just pissed at you about something. And then I never let it go.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
That was like our first year of our relationship.
Yeah, but it was just burritos. And then what, did you keep it up just because?
No, I didn't keep it up. Because
it happened multiple times.
You tried to reach for my burrito recently.
Not
but
recently.
I don't really care about it.
Well, recently you've been saying that you let it go, but what could you have possibly been mad at before?
I don't remember. It was something stupid.
You just wanted to bite of your burrito.
In that first year of a relationship, she just wanted to bite on my burrito. I'm like, nah, I can't bite my fucking burrito.
Yeah, it was mean. So mean.
But yeah, no, it was total bullshit.
Everyone's like, oh, Steve's such a good swag. He loves her so much. He was fucking mean, okay?
I didn't love you then.
I know.
Yeah.
He wouldn't fill me in on my, he said I love you, but did he mean it? No.
Oh, please. I did. I just didn't know how to love yet.
Oh, that's deep.
That's true.
Wow. Okay, well, so anyway, I would never have asked for a bite of your burrito at this time in my life. My mom took a bite of my popsicle once. I cried. I would not share. So how the fuck did I get mono? I don't know. I don't know. To this day, I still don't know. And nobody in my life had mono at all. So no kid at school had it. I was alone with mono.
It's a medical mystery.
How the fuck did that happen? We don't know. Okay, so that happened. I felt crazy for having it because people were like, there's no way you could have gotten that. I also get chronic UTIs and tonsil infections, but not enough for them to remove my tonsils because I guess you have to have like 12 of them a year for them to remove it. It's but I get it like at least once a year. So when I was 7, I used to get crazy pains in my vaginal area, and they ruled out yeast infections. So my mom started thinking that someone had inappropriately touched me because the pain was like crazy.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it was I would cry a lot like because of this. No one could figure out what it was. I was not, by the way, inappropriately touched. Doctors thought it might be bacterial, so I had to take acidophilus, but then that wasn't working either. Turns out I was allergic to fragrance in soaps and shampoos, and I was bathing in them. That's what it was. Just fucking random.
But you got over that.
Yeah, but for a year or more, could not figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it was just, it was bad. Anyway, okay, so let me take you down the road. I want to know, as an adult,
why am I going to breed with you?
These are things.
There's a lot of problems.
Why am I going to breed with you? You're lactose intolerant.
Genetic problems.
You're
I'm not lactose
You're
intolerant.
blind.
If you haven't noticed, I'm not a true lactose intolerant.
Wait, so you just lied about everything then? What is
I lied about
our
that.
relationship? Our relationship is a lie.
No, I'm lactose intolerant. I eat cheese. It sucks after a little bit.
So that's lactose intolerant.
Well, but there's some people who like, if they have even a little bit of cheese, they're fucked.
Okay, so you're on the spectrum of intolerance.
Thank you.
Okay, but let me, honestly, answer these honestly. If you were in my situation. Okay. So you're 19 years old. You're an adult. Out of fucking nowhere, you wake up with a large, scaly, red patch of skin on your chest. Like, it's like big. Like a big fucking...
It's on my boob area?
Scaly, yes.
I'm a chick?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, on the side of your boob. Okay. It took up like half my boob. Wow. Okay, nobody had ever seen anything like this before. I was scared to even show anybody. Like, I showed my mom. Nobody could figure out what that was. So then the next day, it's bigger. And guess what? You have smaller scaly red patches forming all over your body now. Not just that one, but just like everywhere. Like a bunch of little ones everywhere. They're not like necessarily itchy, so it's not like bug bites. But they're scaly. They're gross. You feel gross because they're scaly.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next day, there are even more of them. They're just fucking all over your body.
And you don't go anywhere. You're just like, we'll see what happens the next day.
Yeah. What do you do?
I'm going to the doctor for that.
Okay. Wow. Well, go straight up. Look at you.
Skin
going to the doctor
shit? No.
for something.
Hey, look, I went to the doctor like a motherfucker for acne. You better believe it.
Okay.
Skin shit. I went to the doctor. I went to 10 doctors.
But it wasn't like on my face. It was just on my body.
That's still enough for me to go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I went to the doctor. So you go to the dermatologist and he starts asking about your sex life.
Oh God.
Why does he ask about your sex life?
Because you're hot and 19 and he's a perv?
No, that's not why, but good guess.
Okay.
So you've been in a monogamous relationship for over a year.
Oh my God, the cheating fuck.
The doctor asks, how well do you know your partner?
Oh my Lord.
Because this could be syphilis. Or it could be this totally other thing that's way more benign called pityriasis rosé. But you'll have to take an STD test to find out because it's impossible to tell with the naked eye.
Oh my God.
So you take the test and it takes 3 days to get the results. So meanwhile...
You're still ration or what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're raging ration. Ooh. And you don't moderately, but not really. Not like a bug bite. So you don't know at this point. So these 3 days, these are like 72 hours. You don't know if you have syphilis or not. So meanwhile, you have to confront your partner and awkwardly semi-accuse them of cheating on you.
Wow.
Yeah, made weirder by the fact that there were already trust issues in your relationship.
Classic.
So that's fun. And then you get the results back, and it is in fact pityriasis rosé, and your fights over the past 3 days with your partner have been for nothing.
Nice.
In fact, he accuses you because he's like, well, I didn't cheat on you, so you must have cheated.
Another witch hunt.
Oh, God. It was just a carousel of blame. It was wonderful. Just a wonderful time in your young adult life. Okay, so pityriasis rosé, if you guys have never heard of it, now you know what to, like, that's a possibility.
But what would you do?
Okay, so that first big ass patch is called the Herald patch. It was huge. It took up like a whole boob. Okay, and then usually the smaller patches just stick to your torso area, stopping at your elbows. There's no treatment. It just goes away on its own, but it lasts up to 3 months. So months of just...
You had to deal with this for months?
Oh, yeah. And it feels... I know it's not your fault, but you feel dirty. Like you just feel...
Did you wardrobe change big time?
I covered up the entire time. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And there weren't enough showers to take away the feeling of dirtiness.
Yuck.
Like it just... Because it's like scaly. They're scaly too.
Right.
And you just feel like... feel like your body's not yours. I don't know. It just feels... It felt bad.
What is it caused by?
No clue. It just...
No shit.
There's some attributions to maybe a virus, like an after effect of a virus.
Mm-hmm.
But
Parasmea rosea just fucking comes at you.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, hey, you won't be able to tell if I'm syphilis or not.
Whoa.
Also, it could be scabies. That was another thing that's
STD as well, right?
misdiagnosed. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot. But yeah, so that's fun, right?
Hey, good thing they had those tests, though. Holy shit.
I know.
That guy was going down.
And I'm sharing this because, like, if you get told this and you've never heard of pityriasis rosea, but you took a health class and you heard of syphilis, you're like, well, I clearly have the one that's more common.
Can I just note that you guys worked through that as a couple and you got out the other side?
We did stay together for 5 years, but there were a lot of incidences where I felt he was cheating on me. So
that wasn't one of them.
That was not
to his eternal credit.
That was not one of them.
Thank you.
Lucky ass. It's like in poker, like I called his bluff, but he had a pair of aces.
That's not a bluff then.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The one time he didn't bluff.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Okay.
So you're 25 now. You start getting crazy chest pains. Feels like someone is sitting on your chest. You look up your symptoms. You try to stay calm. And they match a motherfucking heart attack to the T.
Oh, yeah. That's her classic.
Wait, but you're only 25. How could this be? Well, it turns out after doing some more research that there are people who get heart attacks at age 25.
That's why I hate the internet.
You live alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to have a heart attack and die, nobody would even know or find your body. Do you go to the hospital?
Yes. For a chest pain like that, yes.
Okay. But you're like...
Only because you're staring at me like that. I probably wouldn't go.
I don't think you would. Honestly, I was debating it because I'm like, this sounds crazy to like...
How long does it last?
Drive myself to a while. To drive myself to a hospital and be like, I have a heart attack right now. I'm having a heart attack. Sounds crazy.
I don't know. I might go. I don't know. I'd have to really be in the moment with that one.
Yeah.
Because it's not like with kidney stones, I didn't say, let's go to the doctor. Well, I was like, let's fucking go.
Okay, on a pain scale, though, I would say it was not as high as kidney stones. It was probably like a 6. So
for me, probably 3.
It just it was scary because it feels like you can't breathe.
Okay.
And you're like, I mean, you're like, I'm not in exactly pain, but I don't know how long this is going to last. Like, if it's over in the next 5 minutes, then I think I'm fine. But
there's this thing I get sometimes where when I stand up, my fucking navel area stings super hard.
Oh.
You ever get that?
No. That's weird.
You know what that is?
Could be a hernia.
Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't either. I never went to the doctor for it. So yeah.
You should go to the fucking doctor for that
hasn't happened in years.
We pay for insurance.
That hasn't happened for years. Dude, even when I was on my old employee health plan or whatever, my old high-rise job, I didn't go to the doctor.
I'm going to the doctor out of spite at this point because I've been paying for this insurance.
I'm actually with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm paying for it, not just the fucking, not the company.
Got to get the deal.
Exactly. Hey, you reached me.
Okay, so I went to the hospital. I went to the not the hospital. I went to the urgent care.
Okay.
But this particular one had like an emergency room in case you did need to go to the emergency room as opposed to the urgent care. So I go there and they rip off my clothes. There's a young doctor dude by the way, like maybe he was a nurse, I don't know, but
You're 25?
Yeah, I was 25 and I was like having to show my boobs to this young doctor dude. It felt like the beginning of a porno.
Sounds like
like it did, because I was like, am I supposed to? And he's like, oh yeah.
Send me that one.
Okay. And then they hook up the ECG,
to Bob's, to your Bob's?
Yeah. To like and everywhere. And it's just like, I'm just wide, like topless. Everywhere. There's like several doctors in the room, but I'm like, I might be having a heart attack. So I guess this is worth it. And they're like, nah, you're not.
Classic.
Just boobs out, McGee, like not a heart attack.
All right.
And I actually had something called costochondritis. You probably heard of this through me because I've talked about it before.
Times.
But it mimics the exact symptoms of a fucking heart attack, although it's completely benign. So the definition of costochondritis, in case you've never heard of this, it's an inflammation of the cartilage that connects a rib to the breastbone, the sternum. And the pain caused by costochondritis might mimic that of a heart attack or other heart conditions. Costochondritis is sometimes known as chest wall pain, costosternal syndrome, or costosternal chondrinia.
Or Costco membership.
Yeah, Costco membership.
That's all I hear the whole time.
Free samples.
Costco chondritis.
Sometimes swelling accompanies the pain. Didn't for me, but sometimes it does, I guess. It has no apparent cause. Just comes out of fucking nowhere.
Fun.
Just out of nowhere. This is what I'm talking about.
Just like your rosacea thing.
I just feel like I'm just bombed. Like I'm just, like they just dive bomb. They drone bomb me with these random ass things. Okay. And then it goes away on its own, although it may last for several weeks or longer. It's for me, it had lasted for several weeks. Treatment focuses on pain relief. I didn't do any sort of treatment. They were like, it'll go away on its own. Also give us $150.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So next, you ready for this one? This one, you were with me.
Oh, UTI.
No, but don't try to guess. Don't try to guess my weird ailments. Stop trying to guess. Stop. I'm going to take you through it.
Okay.
Okay. You're 32 years old.
I am or you are?
In each of these scenarios, you're me.
I'm you. Okay, good.
You're 32 years old. You're traveling through several countries because you're a jet setter. You're a badass, bitch-ass jet setter. Beach cities, tropical beaches. You're having a good time.
It's our favorite.
There are mosquitoes. You get bit. You're used to it. You're kind of allergic to mosquito bites, but it's nothing new. It's very itchy. Very itchy. They go away in about a week. They're all over your legs, your feet, everywhere. But there's one on your toe that's particularly itchy. Like, it's insanely itchy.
I remember that.
Like, you have to frequently take off your shoes and socks to scratch it. Like,
yeah.
And it's kind of like an odd welt shape that
you went ham on that thing.
Matches your pinky toe. But sometimes, mosquito bites have welted up in odd shapes because, again, you're allergic to mosquito bites.
Fair.
3 months go by, and you still have the same bite in the same place at the same intensity of itchiness. Mm-hmm. So you start Googling it, because what do? You go Google it. What the hell is this mosquito bite? It's never happened like this before in my past. Especially it's this weird shape, and you come across something called hookworm. Hookworm is a parasite, which is not at all common in the U.S. It's like very rarely heard of in the U.S. and develops after being in contact with human feces.
Yeah.
So you go to your dermatologist. They're not convinced, but they take a picture of it and they leave you in the waiting room. They come back They come back 10 minutes later and they verify that actually, yes, after referencing their textbook, they do think it's hookworm.
But let me just let me better pitch it for you.
Yeah.
You come in there and say, I think I have hookworm. They laugh at you.
Yes.
Which happens a lot, by the way.
They laugh internally. I could tell they're laughing.
They laugh in the face of your WMD search that they think you did.
Yes.
Lazily, and they don't know you, who actually fucking digs deep and like looks this shit up hardcore.
And I'm constantly counter-arguing myself.
I know that.
I'm like, what else could it be that's not hookworm?
That's why I
really
laugh.
Rare thing
I
that
LOL
nobody
at this
has.
one in particular because I remember that.
Yeah.
And then them coming back and saying, yeah, okay, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, we looked at our textbook. She said that she's just never seen it in person in her 20 years of being a doctor.
Oh, that's nice. You've been here for 33 years at this point, so
yeah.
I think you know a couple more things, maybe.
Yeah, I think I've been on the Google a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think I've had a ringworm for 2 months now. Thanks.
Yeah, I was concerned that it was ringworm. Oh, by the way, so yeah, it's a parasite. It's called hookworm, but much like ringworm, it's not an actual worm that's in. It was scary because I thought it was an actual worm because the way it's shaped,
that'll terrify you.
It looks like a worm, but it's not. It's just the way that the effect of what it does inside of your body, it creates a welt that looks like a worm shape, but it's not an actual worm.
I'm nodding like I know, but I don't know. But I'm just going, yep.
Well, that's one thing I had to really look up because I was very grossed out.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a fucking worm in my toe? Are you kidding me? There's a worm in my toe?
I had ringworm when I was playing basketball when I was like 12 years old.
Gross.
It was pretty gross. But then they give you a topical ointment and it goes away.
Yeah, so that's what they did. They gave me a topical ointment and an oral medication, like a pill. So I took the pill and then I had to apply the ointment for, I don't know, like a couple weeks or something. And it did go away. So.
But 2 months of that was,
treatable.
I remember that being not fun.
3 months. And it was crazy because I didn't want to believe it was anything but a mosquito bite because that sounds crazy. I've never experienced that before.
Yep.
You know, like all of these things are things like what nobody has ever warned me about hookworm. Like, hey, if you walk around barefoot on a beach, a very beautiful tropical beach full of tourists, you might get a parasite from human feces.
They shouldn't tell you shit like that because you'll constantly think that you're going to get it.
That's true.
But then you actually do end up getting it. So it's
from ignorance, from not knowing.
It's a huge circle.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to know, like, how come they tell you about some diseases but not others? I guess because this one's curable. I don't know. And maybe uncommon.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, and it's not very common at all. She was like, the only reason I believe this is what it is it matches the picture, but also because you said you were traveling through different countries.
Right.
Because she's like, I've never heard of this happening in the U.S.
Right.
Which is weird too, because like I'm sure there's parts of U.S. that are dirty with human feces.
You've been to Myrtle Beach. I swear to God, it's all human feces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah. It was either Mexico or Costa Rica.
Just a little extra fuck you to Myrtle Beach fans.
So we're going to take a break. And after we come back, I'm going to talk about some COVID after effects that I know a lot of people didn't know existed.
That I am not experiencing. And I had the same exact COVID that she had.
Yes. It's weird how COVID affects people completely differently.
I'm having a blast with mine. TikTok,
I guess, has been doing a good job of letting people know. But in case you're not on TikTok, I will let you know of one of the things that may happen to you after COVID, and it's real fun. So strap in. Hey, are you listening to Shit They Don't Tell You? Because if not, how are you listening to this ad about Shit They Don't Tell You?
It's because they can't turn it off. They don't know how to turn it off.
Well, that's pretty convenient for us.
They're throwing their phone on the ground right now.
Once you can figure it out, could you please rate us and subscribe and tell us that we're beautiful?
Listen,
we want it.
We need the validation. But mostly we need the ratings because that's basically how the world is run. That's how
we continue to make more and more and more of this content, this glorious content that you love so much.
If you like the show, support the show. And if you don't like the show, support the show.
And it's for free. The stars are for free.
Yeah, you give them away for free. It's not like if you give 5 stars, you pay more money. They should have charged for every single star. I would have made so much money. And it just made a killing.
Okay, and we're back. I hope you enjoyed those messages from our sponsors or just ourselves. And we're going to talk about a few more weird-ass health elements that I wish I would have known about. And if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, maybe something to look into before you drive yourself crazy.
It's beautiful therapy for you.
Before we get into the after effects of COVID-19 that I want to talk about, that I'm currently experiencing, I wanted to take it back to one more weird ass ailment that I did not know existed before I had it. Okay, so you're still 32, but you've gained 20 pounds in a year despite eating less calories than you consume, eating a balanced diet, drinking lots of water, taking vitamins and supplements.
Veterans of the show know this one.
And keeping to a strict workout regimen. You're beyond frustrated. On top of that, everyone thinks they know everything you're doing wrong and they blame your diet, say you're not doing the right exercises, you're eating too many carbs, you're drinking too much alcohol. Everyone thinks you drink a lot of alcohol just because you did a format where you make mixed drinks, even though your actual intake is only 1 to 2 drinks a week.
You can't drink a thimbleful.
Maximum.
Holy fuck.
We do have some empty glasses on set today, but this is honestly, I drink maybe 2 drinks a week.
Guaranteed.
Maybe 2 drinks a week.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's besides the point. People just think they know everything. They do this with acne too, I've noticed. Like if you have acne and someone else
Wash
like
your face.
had pimples and they got rid of them.
Wash your face.
They're like, oh, here's what you're doing wrong. Yeah. You're not eating the right things. You're not washing with the right scrub.
You're eating too much oils.
You're not washing enough. You're washing too much.
They don't know shit.
Exactly.
It's hereditary.
Same thing with health issues.
Yeah.
They just think they never, especially if you gain weight. It's just like everyone thinks they know like why you gained weight. It sucks, especially when you're like in the public eye. People are constantly commenting on it. You're like, I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still got some rage from that. But you're at your max capacity of things that you could do to possibly lose this weight and this excessive bloating that happens every single day. But you wake up bloated every day and the weight keeps piling on. Concerned, you go to the doctor and take a ton of blood tests, all the blood tests. You take every blood test you could possibly take a blood test for, your thyroid, vitamin deficiencies, cholesterol, blood pressure. And to your dismay, but also, I mean, I guess it's a good thing, I felt dismay that everything came back completely normal, which although I didn't want something to be wrong with me, I also knew something was wrong with me, and I would have rather had an answer than for everything to say, hey, you're a normal person, even though the same exact doctor told me it was not normal to gain 20 pounds in a year for no reason. Like if you're not like excessively eating or not, if you're not changing anything in your workout regimen. But so you go down the millionth YouTube rabbit hole and you come across something called Candida that seems to match all of your symptoms, but you need to make an appointment with a gastroenterologist, not just a regular doctor.
Some kid had a dream of that. Okay.
By the way, expensive because this was out of network because I had the worst healthcare plan ever at this time. I made a whole video about this, by the way, but we'll get to it. So he tells you that they don't actually test for Candida and that you actually have something called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. It's actually a nightmare to try and get rid of. I did a whole video, like I just said, but yeah, so SIBO, and this helped a lot of people because people were like, man, I have been struggling for years. That happened to me. Like I was struggling for years and could not figure it out. I thought it was because of my diet. I did so many like elimination things. Yep. It was actually a relief to find out I actually had something. But then this particular thing is so hard to get rid of. You basically have
to change your whole life.
You have to go on the most intense diet I've ever gone on, and it's random too. Like you're not allowed to eat like vegetables, even like things that you would normally deem healthy. You can't eat garlic or onion. That was the hardest thing ever. Garlic and onion is in everything.
You love garlic. So.
You can't have anything that has any sort of sugar in it at all. Like, so no dairy, no, like nothing with even like a hint of sugar in it. Except for certain fruits are okay. Like grapefruit was okay. Blueberries were okay. It's just so random. The list was super, super random. And then on top of that, I was doing intermittent fasting and then taking antifungals to clear out that bacterial overgrowth. And then I had to rebuild my gut health with a dietitian's help of like slowly reintroducing foods. And gut health is so important. I had no idea before I had this thing. I had no idea that it's actually considered a second brain.
It's a new thing though. Like the past couple of years is only when people started talking about gut health.
Oh my God. And they should.
Yeah. Because
it is a game changer. Like it affects everything. Things that I didn't know were even associated with this. Mood swings, anxiety, depression, stress, fatigue. Before this, I could not stay awake come 3 p.m. I couldn't stay awake. Like I had fatigue every day where I just was falling asleep in the mid-afternoon, like not normal. But I had no idea it had to do with your gut health. Mm-hmm. So once I started working on it and realized all of those things were related, those side effects severely lessened. And here's how I think it happened, in case you're like, wait, how the fuck, 1, do I have this? 2, how the fuck do I prevent getting this if I don't have it? Here's how I think it happened. You know the UTI and the chronic UTIs I get and the chronic tonsil infections I mentioned earlier? Mm. So in order to get rid of those, you need to take antibiotics. And 1 year, I had them back to back. So I had a UTI and then I had a tonsil infection back to back. So I took back to back antibiotics. And I didn't know. I just knew antibiotics got rid of whatever you had, right? The bacterial infection that you have. I didn't know that it messed up your entire ecosystem of gut health in there. So what happened with the antibiotics is it takes out everything you got, like the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, everything you got, it's gone. And then what happens is your gut bacteria has to rebuild. And when it rebuilt itself, probably because I was eating at the time, like I didn't know, one, you should take probiotics to slowly rebuild it back. I didn't know that
nobody was telling you this.
Take it easy on sugars and carbs because bad bacteria thrive off of that. So I probably had an imbalance of what I was feeding myself to when the gut bacteria was rebuilding. And what ended up happening was the bad bacteria took over the good bacteria. And when there's an imbalance in that direction, the bad bacteria just keeps eating the good bacteria. And like those colonies get taken over by bad bacteria. And when I say bad bacteria, I mean the kind that they produce an excess of methane gas in your intestines. But it's not like I was farty.
You weren't Mrs. Farty Pants.
I wasn't farty.
No.
It was just it bloats you up.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
It's in your intestines. Yeah, it's really weird. And it also at times caused my breath to smell a certain way, remember?
Yes, it smelled like burnt plastic sometimes.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Really weird.
It's never happened since. But it was very, very odd. And it was like so not like you.
Yeah.
That it was confusing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even after taking all those antifungals and being on that diet and all that stuff, the worst part about SIBO is it can come back. Mm-hmm. Like there can be, maybe you didn't get rid of it all. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I think you did, but yeah.
Yeah, but I still get paranoid. Like,
dude, I get that way about kidney stones.
I'm like,
oh fuck, am I feeling a pain? Oh my god, it just fucks with you.
It does.
Yeah,
it fucks with you, and
doesn't
then
go away.
Also, especially if you've been, during a pandemic eating fucking junk food, and then you're like, oh shit, did I throw off the balance again?
Plus, it's a traumatic thing.
Yeah,
like what you went through and the way that you had to clean it up, it was like crazy.
It was a lot.
The diet that you went through was nuts. And you had to be disciplined.
You had to be so disciplined.
You could not do cheat days, none of that shit.
And this was before the world was shut down, so people were going out and you had to go out and eat with people, but you couldn't eat anything at the restaurant.
Nothing. It was
you had to bring your own food everywhere.
Yeah.
Because everything has garlic and onions in it, and you can't just I'll have a little cheat right now. Because if you cheat, it comes back. It erases all of your progress.
You're giving them defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took 8 months to clear out completely, and then another few months to rebuild. So it was a whole year of my life of trying to get rid of and repair that damage. Pretty crazy. I don't know, man. And there's only two ways to get rid of it. There's the herbal way, or if the other way, the medicinal way, is to take more antibiotics.
So this is the second time when Nikki's like, I think I had this. Everyone said that you're silly, and then
everyone was like, you're just eating more calories than you burn. I'm like,
knowing
bitch,
you and your research,
I'm eating 800 calories. There's no less calories I can eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. And I did a lot of research too. Yeah. It was very frustrating. The peanut gallery was probably the most frustrating.
Well, everyone's a fucking expert. Even if they're a personal trainer, whatever, they're an expert at everything. They know everything.
Yes.
And everyone in their friend circle treats them like it. So then you can't just talk to them because they are
they just think they know.
Yeah.
Because they've heard it from their clients before who are just lazy. So they just think they copy paste it to everybody. They're like, oh, it's human nature to be lazy or think you're doing more than you actually are. Right. Do you keep a food journal? Yeah, are you keeping track of your macros? You get all
the memes, the stuff that you don't need.
I'm like, bitch, yes, I am. I'm keeping a food journal.
That's like me with acne as a kid. Did you wash your face?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you washing your face? I know you say you wash your face, but you're probably falling asleep and are you washing your pillowcases? And you're just like, you don't fucking understand. I have excess oils that I can take a shower and within 30 minutes, I have a face full of oil. It looks like my face is wet.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've never seen
hour.
that with you.
That's because I killed it with 4 tours of Accutane. I did 4 times of Accutane. I shrank the oil glands in my face.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then because I think once I hit 30, there's something that already happens with the oils in your face.
Hormones.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Differently.
And so the excess got stripped down. So now I have a more regular time.
I went the opposite. I've had clear skin for most of my adult life, and then just within the past 5 years I've been breaking out like crazy.
Well, yeah, post both birth control, you said.
Yeah, once I got off of birth control,
right,
I just started breaking out like crazy. It was like everything that I had when I was a teenager before I went on birth control. It just went back to that state.
I remember being so jealous of chicks on birth control because they had perfect skin.
Yeah.
And not all of them, obviously, but fuck, man. I remember seeing that as a cheat code.
My skin was like, and if I had a pimple and I popped it, it just would go away by the morning. Like there's no remnants of it.
My sister has that. My sister could just get rid of it quick.
Yeah, so I'm not used to this now, like having scarring again, like I used to when I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah. It's wild. Okay, so lastly, but not leastly, this freaking COVID after effect stuff. First, let me talk about...
This is new. I like this. This is new.
First, let me talk about actual, like, when we had COVID. We had COVID in early December, and it affects everybody completely differently. Like, we all have the same COVID, but some people have to go to the hospital, obviously, are on ventilators. Some people have trouble breathing. A lot of people report a dry cough. You had a dry cough.
Yeah, it was minor.
I didn't have one. I think just because I was trying not to do any movement to not create one. But we both got a level of what's called an anosmia, which is where you lose your smell and your taste.
Yes, didn't have any of it.
I didn't lose my taste. I just lost my smell.
I lost both.
But you lost both.
Yeah.
Right?
Wasn't
fun. And this is, can you describe it a little bit?
So I had you order me tacos. I was excited about it. I was like, well, at least I have something to look forward to. Nikki's going to order me some tacos. I love tacos.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in your mouth, and it's like there's nothing there. But there's a texture there, but you can't taste anything on it at all. And you see it, and you know that it's supposed to taste a way, and then it doesn't taste that way, and you're confused as fuck.
So it just tastes like rubber.
No, not even rubber. I wish it tasted like anything. It doesn't taste like anything. There's zero taste.
Wow.
Yeah, you pull the slider bar all the way back to zero, and there's just nothing to be enjoyed. So at that point you're like, well, I might as well just eat celery and fucking soup.
Yeah.
Because
if nothing tastes like anything.
Yeah, nothing tastes like anything, might as well go low cal. So I did.
Guess, yeah. Get nutrients in.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never lost my taste. But I did lose my smell, and I was really pissed because I had just gotten into candle making. And then I couldn't smell any of the fragrances.
Classic. That's some classic Nikki shit.
I still made candles, but I have no idea. I had no idea what they smelled like.
Well, I have to say, my first love before you, Tabasco sauce. Mm-hmm. She was able to shine through for me a little bit.
That's good.
Because
she's trying to reach you.
Yeah, she was definitely reaching.
She's like, remember.
She's like, I love you, Steven. Remember me. Yeah, no, because I definitely could taste her on the outliers, like on the fringes of my taste scale. Mm-hmm. I could taste her a little bit.
Well, they say the way to get it back, and I don't know if this is scientific, but a lot of people are doing this certain therapy where you just have to smell and taste things that you know what they taste like, and just try to remind your brain of what they tasted like.
Physical therapy, wow.
Yeah, basically physical therapy for your taste and smell.
Ooh.
Yeah. But so within a few weeks, it came back. Like
9 days.
Yeah,
I'd say 9 days.
Everything came back.
I mean, I was very lucky with COVID. I had not a problem at all. It was not hard at all for me, thankfully.
Yeah.
Never lost my strength. Had the annoying cough and then lost my taste and smell, but never felt sick or any of that kind of thing.
I was kind of happy to lose my smell because at the time our cat Joe was peeing on everything.
And now he doesn't do that anymore. Oh wait, yes he does.
But he was peeing
every day.
Way more.
Yeah, every day.
But yes, he still does pee on our stuff. It's very annoying and frustrating. Annoying. But
Anybody wants to get a cat, you guys
I could see the pee, but I couldn't smell it at all. And pee smells bad.
Yeah.
But it didn't on COVID.
That was pretty entertaining too, because even in the weeks afterward, I got my smell back much faster than you did. And I was able to smell where the pee was, and you were not at all.
No.
Which is super confusing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is so crazy. And Nikki's just like, are you serious?
Yeah, I don't smell shit.
Yeah.
I don't smell anything.
Yeah.
I also think maybe because I had allergies too at the same time. Mm-hmm. So my sinuses were already kind of blocked.
See, and I don't have allergies.
Yeah.
So it could be something like that.
But yeah, it was great timing for me. I was like, all right, well, I'm glad that it didn't last forever. There are people where it still happened. Like it went on for months and months. Some people have never recovered their taste and smell. So I'm thankful that happened. So we both recovered from that. I got my smell back. I could smell my candles again. I was having a happy time. Mm-hmm. And then about a month ago, I walked down the stairs and I opened a can of cat food to feed the cats, as I do daily, twice a day.
Yep.
I'm always the one doing it. Mm-hmm. So
it's the routine.
Nothing's new. But this time I opened the can of cat food and it smells horrible. Like immense. It like just fills my nostrils with like the worst scent. And I only just the way I describe it, maybe it doesn't sound like it's that bad, but it's like this latex chemical smell. like picture a condom and how like ladies, if you've ever like sucked a condom, and gentlemen,
thank you,
and everything in between.
Thank you.
But like, you know, that taste, it's everything tastes and smells like a freaking condom, like this crazy, it's a very specific scent. And I was like, man, this cat food's bad. Like, it's rancid. This must be a bad batch. I'm not feeding my cats this. It's got to have poison in it or something. It smells like chemicals. So I threw it away. I open a new can. It smells exactly the same. I'm like, holy shit, this cat food's going to get recalled. This entire batch of cat food is bad. And then I remember you coming down the stairs and I was like, smell this cat food. Like, it's bad, right? And you're like, it smells like cat food. I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't smell great, but it was like, it's just cat food. Yeah. And I was like, no, like, it smells like, you don't smell it. It smells like chemicals. Like, it smells bad. And you were like, no, like, it's fine. So I was like, I am fucking tripping. But then it happened every single day. And it wasn't just cat food. It started becoming every food, like every people food, like the meat you would cook. Especially, I started noticing it was like certain foods had a much stronger pungent scent than other things, like onions, my coffee, which was just tragic. Yeah. I still drink it because I am addicted. Yeah. But yeah, it smelled bad.
It still tastes like gloves?
It tasted like latex gloves. Yes. Yeah. It was disgusting. But I will say, if you've watched the vlog channel, youtube.com/Nikki, I've been slowly like making new discoveries about it. It's actually something called Parasmea, which a lot of people have been reporting. Because at first I was like, this has nothing to do with COVID. I had COVID 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. This can't be related at all. But yeah, it is. It's a way after effect, often happening after a virus, so COVID, and it basically blocks certain receptors, so it changes the way that you normally smell things. It's very bizarre, but even though Parasmea has been around for a while, doctors say that like they've only recently had a surge in cases because of these COVID after effects. So yeah, I've found that if you put sugar in things, it kind of cuts down the latex taste. Wow. So I've been putting sugar in my coffee again, even though I've been drinking it black for years. And I also been making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and the peanut butter before the jelly tastes like latex. After the jelly, tastes like peanut butter again. What in the hell? It's really weird. I think we're living in a simulation.
It's weird too, because there's this new statistic that came out that says like 70% of people who died of COVID were also overweight. And so there's an irony here where it's basically like, hey, we want you to eat more sugary shit.
Whoa.
So you can taste shit. That's super weird.
Super weird, yeah. Yeah, I will say I had a personal goal at the beginning of the month before this happened to lose. I gained like 2 inches on my waist since the pandemic. So I was like, I want to lose at least half an inch this month. Like, that's my goal. I'm going to run every day. I'm going to do I'm going to do exercise. I'm going to go back on a healthier diet, not processed foods, no sugar, like just cut it down to being healthy again. Nope. Like, because of this, because of the limited amounts of food I can have, or the types of food, it's been mostly high fat, high sugar. And I think I've actually reversed. I think I've actually gained weight, even though I've been exercising every day.
Classic.
Yeah.
You have been.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not going to change. I do love exercising every day, but yeah, it's just kind of ironic that the best laid plans, man.
Dude, forget it.
You know? And yeah, it's still, things still taste and smell like latex. Depending. I think it's getting less.
Yeah.
I've heard this lasts for a couple weeks, but it can last up to a couple months. And in some cases it can last forever. I'm really trying not to think that way.
We won't think about that.
But yeah, it's been about a month, and some things still definitely smell like it. Like today I made broccoli and it smelled like it a lot. Broccoli already doesn't smell good, but this was unbearable. Yeah.
Well, until then, brie cheese and PB&J.
That's where we're at. Gotta
love it.
Yeah. So there you go. If you're having any symptoms like this, there's a bunch of like TikTok cures too, and I've tried one of them. I tried burning an orange and eating it. Didn't work.
Didn't even do nothing.
But we tried it. If you're having any of the stuff that I've talked about, I hope it helps you in some way. I think it would have helped me a lot when I was going down a frustrating rabbit hole of like, what the hell do I have? What is this? And then to like get some relief from someone that's having similar symptoms was nice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think it was a real thing until you started talking about it like that.
Right.
Because at first I'm just like, what do you mean? Everything's like leather gloves. Like, okay.
No, not leather.
Latex. But I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Right. And then you're like, no, it still is like this. And there's also other people saying it too. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. And in everybody, it's different. Everybody that has this parasmea, it doesn't necessarily taste like latex gloves to them. It's really hard to describe what we're smelling and tasting. But some people say it smells very rotten, like rotten meat. Some people say it smells like feces.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm glad I don't have that one. That would have been really
That's
terrible.
the roughest.
But it does kind of hurt your quality of life, which is what a lot of these people have in common. Is you go to a restaurant or people are eating around you and it's just awful. You like have to excuse yourself from the table because it smells so bad.
Yeah, and it sucks for us too because we don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And
so when we're all in Big Bear and like we'll just open our food normally and we're all excited to eat, and then you're like, oh, leather glove. We're all just latex. Like, what? Or yeah, latex. We're all just like, what the holy shit? Wait, really? Because we can't smell it at all.
Yeah,
it's like so weird.
And it sucks because it's always the same foods too. Like for these other people, and meat is one of the number one things, and garlic and onion. Again, in everything. And for some people, they've never not eaten meat. So they're having to completely adjust their diet, which right. I guess I got lucky in that sense that I was already not eating meat. So dude, that helped.
Feces guy?
Feces?
Whatever it takes, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
People say rotten eggs.
Forget it.
And it's also, it was my wine tasted like this.
Yeah.
My coffee, chocolate, all the most decadent things.
Rough.
Things that you give yourself as a treat. All tasted like latex gloves.
The joy tastes like joy itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that. Hope you learned something today. This is definitely some shit they don't tell you. Subscribe if you would like to hear more topics of shit that they don't tell you. Also, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. We do bonus episodes every month. We also do a live stream.
We also do Steve's Crypto Corner on there.
Steve's Crypto Corner.
So yeah, check it out.
Check it out. There's a link in the description. And until then, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.